to me.
You know,
red wine, you make me feel so. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, keep going.
No,
That's kind of all I know.
That was pretty rude.
No, I was gonna say
Just
that
interrupt someone's.
I didn't mean to. No, I was gonna say that I like
performance.
that he's been opening the podcast singing lately, or just opening videos singing.
One day he won't. We'll be like,
Yeah.
everything okay at home?
And my
Yeah,
man,
yeah, right.
Yeah,
Are there any bruises we should see?
you're alive. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, I try.
I'm proud of you. When are you gonna go into that vocal booth and just start recording some sweet nothings?
I don't know when you want me to.
Not now, because we're
Well,
recording,
yeah,
but
I mean,
maybe
we're,
later.
We're busy now.
True.
We got business to attend
Do
to.
we?
We're businessmen.
We're businessmen.
and women.
business.
We're businessmen.
We're business.
3 feet plush toy.
Yeah, it's true.
Look, Billy. It's Billy.
It's Billy.
We made a
Wow.
webcomic.
It's
Billy
you.
owns the world. It is available now on Webtoon. The link, will be down below. You can check it out. I don't want to like disrespect him, so I'll keep him here.
Yeah, let him chill.
He
He's
usually
good.
sits in Bree's seat when she's
He's
not
good.
here.
Yeah. He's
But,
now replaced.
They're
other
constantly
Billy.
trying to fill the void.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
We are.
Yeah,
Just an empty
a lot
shot.
of different characters have taken the seat. But
I mean, according to some incels, he's got better opinions than you do. So
probably.
yeah, he doesn't say girl boss enough.
Maybe we.
I think
we can
there was a
change
comment
we
that was
made
like-
the comic. We can change that, Sean.
It's true. Yeah, oh, we ought to get like a little like dry erase like bubble thing for him, and we have like what he's saying for the day.
Girl boss.
Girl boss.
I think there was a comment that was like, the dummy that takes her spot each video has better opinions than the than the female or something like that. And I was like,
anytime
damn.
anybody bitches and has to clarify that you're a woman, it's so obvious.
The woman.
Because
Well,
they
it's
always
like
do.
the
They
last-
always
Yeah.
have to clarify, right? Nobody ever like mentions us and is like, these fucking men.
Well, no, in the last
That
Harry
does
Potter
happen
video, how
sometimes,
many
but, you
times
know.
did you guys say girl boss? And I said
lot.
it one time. Who do you think they're gonna call out?
Oh, you, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
That's because
Oh, yeah.
the editor cut it
We're
all
men.
out.
We can't be wrong.
Yeah.
Like when
okay?
we say it, the editor cuts it out and only leaves yours.
Oh, so the editor's the
They also
sexist one.
fear me.
They're adding to it.
Yeah. Sean is scary, which is funny because I feel like, I don't know. I feel like you're the, oh no, Eric
calmest one.
Eric is kind of the most approachable, I feel like.
No, he's the most
Oh, 100%.
approachable. I'm actually the most chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
I'm pretty chill.
just high strung.
Yes.
You are high strung.
Yeah, you are.
But that's what I love about you, though. That's like
thanks,
that is
man.
like literally one of my favorite things about you.
That's why we're so good though, because he's so
Yeah.
high strung, and I'm like, chill out.
No, like don't wrong. Like
when
Chill the
we
fuck
get people to
out.
run all the back end shit I deal with, I wonder if I'm going to change.
But that's the thing that I like about you because like first off, like this man overloads his plate, and you know what, we're getting into this.
Oh God.
This man overloads his plate, and he's like every few months he'll be like, guys, I'm just like over encumbered, like I need help, and it's like, yeah, delegate. What do you want us to do? And it's like he'll be like, well, I need help with like this, and then we're like, okay, and then like we go to do it, and he was like, yeah, I was already there, I just took care of it, and it's like, and what the fuck you asking for?
It's just you know what the problem is, and I blame, and I've talked about this before. It's smartphones.
True.
I think the problem is
it's too easy to go ahead and do it.
because the problem is, right, like is this is not, obviously, you know, we've talked about this before. We run the company together, right? We love what we do. We've even discussed that like we don't know what we would do outside of it. Like we get bored. Like we were even talking about plan. You know, we were like, well, how much time should we take off for the holidays? And we were like, do we take 2 weeks?
We were like 2 weeks, and we were
Sean
like,
looked at me and he was like, dude, you're gonna lose your fucking mind. And I was like,
being stuck at home
Bro,
with the girl and
I
the
was
kids
like,
all
yeah,
day.
yeah,
yeah, but
spend
after
time
2
with my
weeks, they're
family.
they're not gonna be there the whole time, right? Like maybe we'll be in school or whatever. But like
Oh,
a week, they will
yeah,
be.
I'm gonna be somewhere in a.
he was like, they're not even old enough to say anything cool yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Where's the woman gonna be? I don't know.
So, you know, like we were like talking about that, and you know, I don't know, like we enjoy doing this, but
Yeah.
the problem is that like the having kids thing, right? It's like I need my phone for emergencies, right? Luckily, I've found ways where like when we're here, which has helped a ton. I've put like a work focus mode where the second that I get like down the street, my phone goes into a mode where I get absolutely no notifications.
Dude, which has fucked you like twice this week.
Yes,
by the way.
it has.
Yeah, but I can prepare for that now. But like I can greenlight it, right? So like if Bree calls me,
Yeah.
it will go through, but her texts won't. So it's like if there's an emergency, she knows I'll still get it.
And it's
I don't have
such
to worry.
an annoyance because
It is very helpful.
man, when you're just alone all day and you're just, things just pop in your mind. The first thing you want to say it to is your significant other. But as soon as I send more than one text, I just have to realize my first text is just going to get completely ignored.
Not ignored.
As I go throughout
but,
the day and I send you like 5 or 6 texts throughout the
'Cause
whole
he only
day
looks
of
at the most
whatever
recent one?
pops in my head. I'm like, I just have to remember.
That's boy
whatever
math.
I sent you. Whatever I sent you first.
The last text is the most important.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever I sent him first, I'm going to have to bring up later because there's no way that he read it or took it in or remembered what I said. So
And have you
Yeah.
learned this over like testing like throughout the day?
Over 6 years.
Yeah,
I've
like
learned.
when you've texted him and then like he's come home for the day and you've like been like, hey, like,
Yeah.
this, and he's like, oh yeah.
No,
Oh yeah,
I-
especially
I-
with
I-
TikToks. I send him maybe 2 or 3 TikToks sometimes a day.
Yeah.
And I've learned that
Sometimes
sending him
it's
just something
6.
silly, he won't care to watch. But when it's something like that, I think he'll actually like. I send it to him and I'll ask him at the end of the night, hey, did you see that cool TikTok I sent you? He'll be like, no. I'm like, it says you read it. He's like, yeah, I don't think I clicked on it.
Because here's the thing.
And I'm
When
like,
it's-
the
no. So here's the thing. When there's one, I always click it. The problem is she'll send me 3 to 6 back to back.
Yeah.
And now it's a commitment. Because
No,
TikToks are no longer under a minute.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
I don't send you TikToks.
But I don't know that prior to clicking it.
No, I will go ahead and say if you send me any sort of like something that's supposed to be short form content and it's like a 3 to 6 minute video, I will never trust
I don't
you to
even
click on
watch
anything
longer
ever again.
videos
Yeah,
in a
fair.
minute. I usually
No,
don't
she
even
doesn't
watch.
usually do that, but it's like
No,
when. But even
no, I mean in general,
even,
anyone
yeah,
like
but
does
even
that.
if it's like a
I don't
minute,
trust you anymore.
because even if it's like a minute and a half or something, right? If there's 5 of them,
Yeah.
that's a commitment. I'm
you
there for the
could
next
watch
10
I mean, it's
all
a full
of those.
15-minute break.
You could watch all of those while you're sitting in the bathroom for 15 minutes.
I'm on my own TikTok. you know, there's a
I get my homework done.
So is it
not
one of those
always,
where
it
like you don't
depends.
want to watch all the TikToks because you don't want it affecting your TikTok algorithm?
No,
See, that's what I worry about
I don't,
too.
I don't think that affects
I
it.
don't have that as a problem
Because it knows if it's from someone that sent it to you. So I don't
maybe,
think
yeah.
it, unless
I-
you like it.
That hasn't been too much of a problem. It's more just it's the sheer amount, right? Like I've talked about it before in the sense of like
Also, he'd be
it's-
lucky to have my TikTok
okay.
algorithm.
Yeah.
So shut the fuck up.
I like mine. Mine's actually gotten way better recently, which has been nice. I think that because the election has passed, I think
it's
all
a
the
lot
election
better.
stuff is toned down, and I don't get it nearly as
Well,
much.
he
which
went
is
to go
nice.
buy something on TikTok Shop the other day and realized that he didn't even like have access to it yet, which is why he has never had an ad
Yeah.
for it, was because he didn't even have it like set
Wait,
up to do
wait.
that.
That's why you never saw.
Yeah.
I guess
Because I wanted a lamp.
I don't know. I guess.
And I told him what lamp I wanted, and it was off of
no,
TikTok
but I will
Shop.
say I've even
I had to
bought,
walk
bought
this
that
man
lamp,
through it like he
but
was
I-
like 65.
No,
He's
but I-
always like, oh, I never see any ads.
No, I
now it
haven't
makes
used
sense
it.
why he never saw
I
my
haven't
toilet puncher
used
ad.
it. I
Because that
haven't
shit
used
was
it.
everywhere on TikTok.
No, I just haven't really used it. Like I don't know. I've gotten better at not. So like I've gotten really good. I don't use social media nearly as much anymore. Once I removed
same.
Twitter off my phone, and it's one of those things where I've debated downloading Blue Sky and making an account just so I have
oh, it's
it.
so much better.
But it's like I'm in that worry where like if I download it, am I going to start using it?
No, I download it. I go there. I check it every 4 or
Yeah.
5 days.
Yeah.
And dude, completely deleting my Twitter. Like I still run the sort of stupid Twitter. I check it like once a day to see if anybody's tagged us in like fan art or anything like that. But like I no longer browse Twitter.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Or anything like that. Like
It's a cesspool.
Deleting my Twitter is like the best thing I probably could
That's
have
the
done for me.
thing.
in that
I don't
regard.
know why you had to delete it because I haven't deleted mine, but like I don't check it, so it hasn't been getting it off my phone. Was
I go
the
on
big
there
thing.
to check sports
'cause
things. Those
the-
haven't migrated over to Blue Sky yet.
The need to see if I'm tagged in anything would still kind of like eat at me. And so like I even though I had deleted off my phone, I was starting to check it in the browser more.
By the way, we got to remember now. We all have to make including a sort of stupid Blue Sky before
There's
this
one.
podcast goes up.
Already did.
It's already made.
We should claim our names over there, all of us. If
Already
we have
did.
it.
I already
Have you,
do.
Eric?
No.
Me and you have to do that.
I'm
before this
sorta
episode
stupid
goes
Bree
up.
on Blue
'Cause
Sky.
if-
I'm
sorta
'cause
stupid
if
Sean on
this,
Blue
if this
Sky.
episode goes up
Get
and
it
we don't have
together,
it yet, somebody's
boys.
taking it.
Wonderful.
Get your shit
What's funny is he
together.
was like, we need to make a sort of stupid one. He was literally there when I made it.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, shit. Well, it's a lot of information.
Nice.
You know?
Nice.
Prime
Look,
example
you gotta
happening in real
understand, Billy.
time.
Okay, we are a small business. A lot of us wear a lot of hats.
Yeah.
You know, we had a meeting with a lawyer this morning. That was fun.
We did.
It actually wasn't too bad.
I was the second lawyer, by the way.
Oh,
Not even the first lawyer. Okay?
The process of finding a lawyer was way more complicated than I expected.
Getting them on the phone was the hard part.
Yeah, that is true.
Like it's wild because it's like we didn't have to go in person. We just had to get them on the phone. We just had to claim like a half an hour of their time.
Yeah, we just had to get that initial thing to be like, this is what we need.
And they're like, yeah, we could do that. And it's like, okay,
when?
cool.
3
Yeah.
weeks from now.
Awesome.
It's like, wait, what?
And it's like, sweet.
And that also doesn't help that like the question that we asked, like, our financial advisor, it was literally like, yeah, you need to get on that like yesterday.
Yeah.
And then we started
he was like, you haven't
and
done
it was like
that
a
yet?
Friday, right? So we call the lawyer he recommended, dude doesn't answer, and we're like, fuck.
Yeah, we're boned. It's
all right,
over.
It's Friday, he doesn't answer. Monday rolls around, we call again, goes voicemail, and Eric's like, oh, it's a holiday today. And it was like, oh, all right, fuck. Okay. We'll try again tomorrow. So, we try again tomorrow, leave voicemail, nothing. We go to their website, we're like, oh, there's a form. Okay, we'll fill out the form. We fill out the form. A week goes by.
Nothing.
We're like, what is happening? Then we finally got the thing to make
No
the
one wants to
appointment.
work anymore.
It took what, almost a week and a half to 2 weeks for us to get the email to submit the appointment, and that appointment, the first available one, was like 3 weeks later. So we ended up finding somebody that was sooner, but it's been like a 2 week process just to get somebody on the phone.
Ow.
Dude, getting someone on the phone for that website design was a nightmare until we found people. Trying to get office space was a nightmare.
We still never got calls
no one
back.
ever hit us back.
That is wild, actually.
Yeah, no one ever hit us back for the office space. No one ever hit us back for the website people.
No, dude. So I've talked about this before, right? But like, there's a thing where people are saying that we're in this weird cyclical, like, technological issue, and I think that's why you're seeing a lot of people are kind of going back to like what I was saying of my issue with my smartphone. Is, everybody kind of got off house phones because house phones became unusable because it was just telemarketers, right?
Yep.
And then everybody moved to email. And now email has become borderline unusable because of ads. I don't know if you knew this. I was telling Bree about this the other day, and it blew her mind. She didn't know that there are sponsored emails now on Gmail. I don't know if you guys have noticed this because they are very, like, it's not obvious.
It's such
but
an invasion of
now
privacy.
you will have emails just chilling at the top of your email box from companies that you have never interacted with, or maybe you have in the past and you've unsubscribed for them. I'm not going to say their company because I don't want to give them any shout out, but there was a company who made a very like political stance, and they got a lot of pushback, right? In a printing thing.
Still are.
And
Yeah.
I unsubscribed from their thing and their emails because they were bombarding us with emails. And it was one of those things of like, I don't care about the promotional emails, but when I come to you for, print media and you start emailing me about presidents, I'm removing you. I don't care. Like, get out of here. I'm here to buy product, not hear your political beliefs. I don't give a shit.
Yep.
So like, I unsubscribed from them, and I noticed that they kept showing up in our fucking business email, and I was like, what is happening? And I looked, they're fucking sponsored. So like now Google is now selling like access to your emails. So your emails aren't even personal anymore.
Nope.
And then, so now, cell phones, people moved away from house phones, people moved to cell phones. Well, now nobody answers their phone anymore because it's all spam calls. So everybody moved to texting. Well, now spam texts are a thing.
Yep.
And it just keeps getting worse. And it's like, what the fuck do you do anymore?
I don't know how many texts I got during the election of like, who are you
So many.
voting for?
So many.
Here's why you should
Now,
vote for Trump.
you
Here's
get-
why you should
get
vote for
bombarded by
Kamala.
health insurance now. That's fun. I'm getting bombarded with health insurance text messages.
The health insurance text messages, the ones that also just say hello.
Yep.
They're like, hello. They're like, whoever sent a text message.
No, I'm
that
getting
just goes,
ads.
Hello.
I'll get text messages from random companies. We have blah, blah, blah on sale. It's like, where did you even get my number?
Yeah.
Like, what is happening?
That's because someone sold your information.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
now you're on a list somewhere, and
Yeah.
you're never gonna leave that list now.
No, and that's the unfortunate thing is like, what option do you have? Get a new phone number, which will potentially break multiple two-factor authentications that you might have.
I also love my phone number.
Yeah, like
I don't want a different phone number.
No, like I mean, my dad has had the same phone number for like 25 fucking years.
Same.
Yeah, my
Right?
It's
sister
like
has.
my identity.
I've had mine since like 15 or 16 years old.
This is my very first phone number.
Yeah, so it's
Same.
like, what
What?
do you do? Right?
Yeah.
Same, dude.
So it's
The
like-
same phone number I've had since my very
Damn.
first phone.
Yeah. So it's like you have all this spam, and it's gotten to the point where it's like, I have to have my phone in case of emergencies, right? So, you deal with the spam all day. You deal with, the normal text that you get. And then obviously we also have like our Discord on our phone, which is how we communicate with like the team and each other and this and that. So it's like this habit of like, I can't help but like when it's there, I see the notification, I click. And it's like, yeah, I could do the focus mode thing when I'm at home and do the same thing I have here where the emergency messages go through. But at that point, why not just disable fucking everything?
Yeah.
Because then I'm not going to see. Because the problem is like, I want the Discord access in case there's an emergency. But you can't, there's no like filter for me to have it set up where I only get notified about Discord emergencies. You either get Discord notifications or you don't get Discord notifications. Like there's no in between.
Right.
I don't know. I feel like I let you know when there's emergencies on Discord.
Yeah, I guess. But like, I don't know. Like
I am
it just,
always watching.
or like email. I don't know.
Always
watching. It's weird.
No,
I
I
guess
am.
because
Ask him. He'll tell me something. I'm like, I already read that.
yeah.
I already know. Yeah, I already dealt
Bree
with that.
stays in the know-how.
Same. I mean, the same thing in the general Discord or the community Discord. I am always watching.
No,
I'm always.
that-
Yo, I need to zoom in
reading.
right
that's
there.
like
That was-
I've been missing
I
out
know
on like
everything you say, and I have a list
Yeah.
She's got
of
receipts.
people
No,
that
like,
Receipts.
Let's
that
put it
you
like
guys
this.
are so tiptoeing the line for
No,
me.
no, if I know
And
your
I'm just
name in the
waiting
Discord,
until
that's
I
either a
can
really good
kick
thing or a
ya.
really bad thing.
Yeah, there's no in between.
Yeah.
You're either a little shit that I can't stand
Yeah.
and I'm waiting for you to
I
get
mean,
banned,
when we got
or
hacked, I knew it
yeah,
instantly.
no, she did.
She was the notifier.
I was like, guys, wait, something's going on.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the issue, right? Is that like, you know, we enjoy it. So there's this weird
Yeah.
like, you know, we all started in
We're
the
coming
beginning.
in the
I'm
Friday
just
after
nosy as
Thanksgiving.
fuck.
Well,
I'm
we-
so nosy.
We started doing this, you know, in our free time for fun.
Yeah.
Right. So we obviously enjoy it. So there's this weird thing
Well,
of
me
like,
and you still had our personal channels that were our focus.
yeah. So it's like, you know, when I'm at home and it's past work hours, I don't want to have to deal with like the business side of the company.
Yeah.
It's like I would rather be like, that is the 9 to 5. But like the billions of the world, the comic stuff, you know, I want to see the art when it's done. I want to look into it. I want to go, you know, look at things like that, and I want to see it. But like, there's no way to like.
Well, the business
only
stuff's-
green light
it starts
that.
it starts to creep in while you're doing the other stuff.
because you
right?
start doing one thing, but then you see that and you're like, I'm already fucking here, and if I don't deal with it now, it's gonna go in and out the other, and I'm gonna forget about it or whatever.
That makes sense.
Well, I mean, it starts with like, ooh, the artwork's done. I got to pay the artist. I got to, you know, and then like you're in the bank account and you're like, oh, I got to pay this invoice. I got to,
I got to do this person.
yeah. Now, you know, now it's that time of the month where like taxes come out, you
Yeah.
know, because we actually pay taxes
That's
and
fun.
all that. And it's, don't follow your dreams. Just
That's
work a 9
something
to 5.
I am not looking
Like,
forward to
somebody
because
else
you
do it.
guys have an accountant.
Yeah.
I do not.
No, that
you will be getting an account.
yeah,
I girl boss my way through it.
no, I will.
Don't girl boss the IRS.
Don't. No, my advice now, like if you're getting to the
That's
point
the
where you're
title.
making money making content, get an accountant. Like don't do
No,
it
I think
yourself.
no,
Don't-
wholeheartedly, depending on how much if you are like actively pursuing content, like you're somebody that's out there fucking streaming every goddamn day or making hella YouTube videos,
Yep.
you made and you get an accountant. I don't care if you're making money. You don't need to be making money to like take care of yourself in that way. Especially when you're just getting started, like
Yeah.
overpaying your taxes because you just didn't realize that you
what
made
to
a
write off,
mistake.
what isn't. Yeah.
Do what they say, not as I do.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah.
you just, bro, the amount of like I mean,
That's why it's like this
hard
isn't
getting
this
started.
isn't
right?
financial
It is.
advice because the accountant would be the one giving you the financial
Exactly.
advice.
Like it's just seek that. Like they know what they're doing.
Seek professional advice.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Because there's like I don't know how many times like we've gone to ours and it's like, can we do this? And they're like, yeah, and you can do this on top of that. And it's like, no way.
That's crazy.
Yeah, this feels illegal. And they're like, it probably should be, but it's not.
Well, I mean, I think a perfect example is you know, because that health insurance, right? Like we thought that in order to, you know, benefit tax wise from health insurance, that you had to like own a business and get business health insurance and do all that. And we did that. And it was a fucking massive pain in the ass
Still is.
that we're still dealing with, and the year is about to end and we're going to need to get new insurance. And like, but what we found out is no. If you are just a fucking independent contractor or whatever, and you go buy your own fucking insurance, yes, you can do
It's
tax stuff with that. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's yeah. Having someone who know like and for a lot of people, it's like a pride thing as well. It's like, bro, just realize that you don't know as much as you think you know when you could literally just for not that much money I think like
It's also a write-off to have the accountant.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
like
It helps.
an accountant in themselves is
writing
a
themselves
write-off.
And obviously,
that also gives you professional help on more write-offs.
Yeah, and write-offs don't like, it's not just infinite money, which some people seem to
No,
like
it is
pretend
not.
like it is. Like it helps, especially when you're just getting started. Like
Yeah.
if you're a brand new artist and you're trying to do art full time, like, dude, that $1,000 tablet you spent and the taxes you could save by writing that off because it is a business thing, like, holy crap, that can be the difference between, you having ramen 1 month and being able to actually feed yourself properly 1 month. Like it does add up.
Well,
Feed yourselves properly.
Yeah.
I think to do my taxes, it was like $95, and like that was a full addendum and stuff where they had to like redo my taxes and add like the other stuff that I didn't like tack on like with the business stuff. And
Sean got yelled at for doing his own taxes.
Yeah, I did my taxes myself this past year, and they were not pleased with me.
Dude, gee, I wonder why.
I will never forget. We were on the call with our finance person.
I wasn't there for that call.
No, you
by the way.
weren't. And I will never forget that when I mentioned to him, I was like, yeah, me and Eric just submitted our tax stuff to the accountant. Sean did it himself. I will never forget the face that he made, where he just looked like it was like a disappointed dad.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not mad at my kids.
Because like his
I'm
rejection
just
was just like,
disappointed.
Yeah.
And it was like, why? And it was like, because he thought it would be fine.
If you guys could rank yourselves as like siblings, who's the oldest, who's the middle, and who's the youngest?
I'm the oldest.
I think she's talking about mentally, Sean.
The oldest.
Like when it comes to like your financial advisor and the way that he would see you as a disappointed father.
I don't think it's
no, Eric's the
who's
oldest.
the youngest and
Eric's
who's
the
the middle
oldest.
and oldest.
Eric is he deals with like the talking to people.
Yeah. No, Eric.
Depending on the person,
Eric's
I
the
guess.
oldest because like me and Ruff are very much like, is it making money? And he'll be like, yeah, and we'll be like, nice.
Yeah.
And Eric is the one that has like all these questions for like all this other stuff, and like me and Ruff are sitting there playing with our toys.
No,
where we're like,
it's like I don't pay attention to the account. I'm like, do we have enough money to do this?
Exactly.
All I care about
is the money there
can
to
we
do
pay
it?
everybody?
Yeah.
Right? Is all of our employees taken care of and paid? Sick.
I'm better at like we get into the conversation. I feel like my strength is adding on. In the sense of, say you have a question, I see it from a different angle that someone may have a different perspective on, and I add that perspective that may go unseen. I think it's the pattern recognition of ADHD
you come up with
kind of
the
stuff.
idea, he adds on to the idea, and you envision every outcome for the idea.
every worst outcome.
Yeah.
No, and bro, trust me.
That's the creative process.
Eric
here.
handles the email, and
Yeah.
that is the one thing that I just cannot do.
It's almost like a sport for me at this point, watching them play verbal tennis. Like, dude, we're working with these website people, right? And Ruff's like, email them this, and Eric's like, well, what if they don't understand? And it's like this and this and this, and I look back at Ruff, and he was like, no, it's going to be fine if you just say this. And Eric's like, no, but what if it's this? And I'm like, just looking back at Ruff, just waiting. And finally, it gets to the point where Ruff's like, I'll do it.
Yeah, and I just like fucking typed it up. And I'm like, good.
No, and it's like
Because he handles it most of the time. It's just
No,
the
I feel
occasional
like you
like,
guys need to go to couples therapy.
no, it's not. It's more just like
We communicate on different wavelengths.
Eric
and,
simplifies very complicated things, and he overanalyzes very simple things.
so like
Yeah.
our pure weaknesses is too high strung, too apathetic, too pedantic.
Wow, those are
we're
very
willing to
extreme
insult
words.
each other.
No, I mean like
Yeah,
he is
those
high strung.
are
Like he gets
words
upset
I'll
and
have to
stuff, and
look
like
up later.
me and Eric will like look at each other, and it's like, bro, it's gonna be fine. Like we will figure it out. And my thing is like I think we'll figure it out to where it's like I probably don't care as much as I should.
Yeah.
Where it's like and because it's like I like being the calm voice
No,
in the
I
room
mean,
of like
I
we'll
think-
figure
Oh,
it
the
out.
mediator.
guys.
I
Like,
think the problem is that like it's like the. I think it wholeheartedly is the paranoia that we've had in the sense of like me and you specifically, Sean,
No, yeah.
have been making content full time since about 2017, 2018, right?
So everybody knows, these aren't arguments. This is just like how we are as people.
Trying to communicate with one
This is how
another.
they've always been.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is just who we are as humans.
So it's like, you know, me, like we all
actually compliment each other in this regard. He adds the urgency that I lack, and he adds the detail that he may look over by being upset.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, like you know, we all met through Mixer, and it's like we saw that shut down, right? Like me and Sean jumped ship beforehand, right? I was the one that pissed them off at Mixer, and they used me as the example, yoinked my partnership away.
I was like the third or fourth secondary scapegoat.
Yeah, I pissed upper management off a little bit.
Fuck them.
And then
They
Sean
V-botted me towards the end.
Yeah. Then,
Yeah, they did.
then Sean left not long after, and Eric and Bree kind of like rode out the ship until they decided to yeet it off into the
Once they saw
sunset.
the
Until
rats
they
jumping
literally
off, they're like,
pushed
I guess
us
we
off
better
the
leave.
deck. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
They
'cause it was
sent
like-
out a tweet and was like, "You're losing your jobs, GG."
I already had a
You
full-time
have 2
job.
months.
So like to me, it
What
was
did it
just
matter?
It was just.
Or no, they said like you have 30 days.
Well, I think the thing was, I was like, you know what? If y'all are gonna view bot me, I'm gonna utilize this to
Yeah.
get a Twitch
100%.
partner.
Yeah, he
so
got
I
a
literally
Twitch
applied
partner
for
and I
Twitch
didn't-
partner, and they're like,
Yeah.
yeah, you
Dude,
get
no.
400 viewers.
Okay,
Yeah, if anyone got the real shit end of the stick there, it was
No,
me.
yeah, no,
I
it was
didn't get
it was-
nothing.
It was being rough because like we left like 6 months before they ever announced it. Like me and Ruff were on like the.
I was like, I don't like the direction this is going.
we were on the dock watching the Titanic take off,
Yeah.
and like, hey, I heard there's icebergs out there. Be careful, y'all.
Yeah, pretty
much. Like
It was there. So it's like, you know, you see that happen, and then you know, because
to be fair though, I thought, and like rose-colored glasses, sure, but I was in a very good spot with Apex at the time.
No, you were.
and I was finally starting to work with them with tournaments, and I was hosting tournaments, and I thought I was in a really good spot with them. And then I'll never forget when they sent that tweet out because it was like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And I remember
They totally
that
tried to
everybody
sweep it under the rug.
got onto a Discord call, and like I would say 70% of people were like, for good reason, very emotional.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, some of these people have
that
been
was
doing
their
this.
livelihood.
No,
For
I mean,
years.
fuck it. I mean, let's break out some drama real quick because
Yeah.
you guys
Like,
seem to like that. We've learned.
And at the same time, you know, it's I would say 40% of this call were female. Because at the same time, the whole Me
typical
Too movement was
booby
going
streamers
on.
stay winning.
No, yeah, that's what I was saying.
No, the whole-
let's get it. Well, let's set the stage real quick. So,
Oh,
like,
man.
And ask him. I was on a Discord call for probably almost 20 hours for this shit.
So Mixer was a streaming platform that competed with Twitch for a little bit. And Mixer was owned by Microsoft. So, you know, it was one of those things where for the very short amount of time that Mixer was becoming a serious contender, Twitch was taking it seriously. They gave Ninja like a fucking $30-40 million deal to stream exclusively.
Shroud about
They gave
something.
Shroud about half that. Even though they
Gathalion.
made $10 million.
Well, because
Gathalion
this was
made
during an
bank.
era where Mixer had the new tech too.
Yeah.
Right? Like
FTL.
Twitch still
Mixer,
had a delay.
It was
like, you had a delay.
instantaneous, right? Twitch had a 5-10 second delay.
They had something nobody else had.
Mixer was less than half a second. It was instantaneous. Like you could go like this and you would
You
see
could
your hand
actually
wave
have
in
a
real time.
conversation.
It was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, so they were competing and they were making a lot of mistakes. There was a lot of issues back end. It almost seemed like they were scaling up too quickly and making some dumb decisions by throwing
Which
$40
also
million
now, after
at
seeing
Mixer and not taking care of
website
the people
develop,
there.
like watching a website be developed,
Mm-hmm.
it makes me. And I was thinking about it this morning. Weirdly enough, that we're talking about it. How long it took them to implement some things
Made no
that
sense.
should not have taken that long.
I actively told like for those playing the home game, like I was so early. I was one of the first 100 partners on the entire platform.
Well,
I
you were
was-
on Beam too, weren't you?
Yeah.
Were you
Yeah.
on Beam?
I was there like for like the first like month and then it transitioned into Mixer.
Sean got partnered before they rebranded to Mixer. I got
Yeah.
partnered almost immediately after they rebranded.
Yeah,
to Mixer.
no. So like my timeline for that is I was one of the first 100 partners. I was the second person streamer wise to find out that they were changing to Mixer. So it was like me and one other guy in that room that they put us in.
no,
when they announced
we were all
And
early enough that like,
it was
we,
like one of those
we-
like, what do you think?
we knew a lot of the inner workings.
Yeah.
Like I had hung out with like the people who created the website multiple times. Like
Yeah.
it was a very like it was very like tight knit, especially in the beginning. And that changed.
And I was
very
I was
quickly.
the fifth person overall, including business accounts, streamers, blah blah blah, to hit 100,000 followers.
Yeah.
So like like I was there early.
He intimidated the shit out of me.
I did. How?
Because I
Think
mean,
about who you hung out with.
Who?
Virtually hung out with, because you were part of their stream team.
Oh, fuck them.
also, it doesn't matter. You say fuck them now, but
the
I
time.
didn't get onto Mixer until 2017.
Yeah,
Fair
you
enough.
were a little later.
So
into the game.
I was way past all of you guys. So I mean, he intimidated me. The
You were a freshman
the
amongst a
first
bunch
time
of,
I
you know,
found
fair
his stream,
enough.
I found his stream because I thought he was cute, and I subscribed to him
Damn.
because I thought he was cute. I was brand new to Mixer. I was only a follower of like 3 channels, and I saw his
She
stream, thought he
subbed
was
to you.
cute,
You owed
and
her.
then listen,
Was he wearing the-
he was drunk, and he.
Every time we had a drunk stream, that's when I'd go in his stream.
he was drunk and he started watching music videos with girls just shaking their ass.
Hell yeah.
And I was like,
Ass, bitch,
and
let
I
me
was
see
like-
what you got.
And I was like, okay, I'm gone. And I don't think
She's
I
like,
ever
well,
went
that
back.
crush was short-lived anyway.
And then when we met in the closet and then we became friends again, that's when I went back to his stream. It
It's
was
rare
probably
that a
good
woman
6
picks up a
months
man
past
while he's in
that.
the closet.
Yeah,
But
right.
it is funny to look back now and be like, huh, that's how that turned out.
Yeah.
But so Mixer did this. They started making some dumb decisions, right? They paid
Shocker.
Ninja $40 million and gave and they did this and then took away a massive financial incentive for all of the partners that had been there for years.
Yep.
People that were relying on this income, like
Are you talking about Sparks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they just were like, yeah, no, Ninja will do it.
Well, they
And
also the Latin American YouTubers.
Oh yeah,
Like,
they
that
fucked
whole
them over.
contract.
They didn't even pay
Yeah,
them.
that
Like
whole
there was
contract,
this whole thing.
bro. That is wild.
Yeah,
Like-
and this is right? Microsoft owned this company. They
Yeah.
were in charge of this. So like there was a lot of issues behind the scenes, but then a lot of drama started to kick on. So what ended up happening? So it started.
And the whole reason it kicked up so fast was because I don't know what it was, like a weird thing. Like there was a partner Discord.
God.
And it was kind of
it was a
Terrible.
cesspool.
it was
so
a cesspool
gross,
of
dude.
Mixer supporters that if you said one wrong thing, they would kind of put you on blast. So
No,
if you
yeah.
had an issue with Mixer, you kind of just kept it to yourself.
Yeah. No.
Because otherwise you would be
No,
shadow banned by the company itself.
They did do
You
that.
would
That is
be-
100% like
you would
absolutely
be,
they
you would
did.
be
Boom.
shunned
Yeah.
by the other partners. You felt just completely separated
It
from the
was literally
website as a
stream
whole.
the way we expect you to stream, or you will be surprised.
We had to have rules. Like there were rules
No
to be on the
cussing.
carousel.
Yeah.
No cussing.
You had to have rules.
Yeah, no,
like
yeah.
they had rules
Zero.
on the carousel.
Because they embedded into our head that you could not be successful if you
if you're a mature streamer.
Which
And
this wasn't even
funny
in
enough,
the
too,
rules.
To be clear, right?
It
our
was
ma-
just like a
our
standard
main
that
channel,
just imaginarily was set.
I have looked, right? If you don't count Ninja, obviously, because he came from Twitch. Like, if you don't count the YouTubers and the massive people that were paid to move over and tried, people that were homegrown on Mixer, we have the biggest channel out of anybody
Yeah.
that used to stream back then. I've looked.
I mean, that's
almost
cool.
everybody no longer, like, it's crazy to think about, right?
Yeah.
But like, we are unapologetically ourselves now.
But it's also-
Hell yeah,
and it was
Billy!
embedded into us for years that we could not act the way we
It's
act.
also kind of crazy that that's where we all came from.
yeah.
Yeah, no.
So,
Yeah.
It just very much
was
worked
a
out.
cesspool,
Our
and,
roots.
and unfortunately, for people that don't know, the streaming industry and everything, and I'm obviously with all the drama that has come out about YouTubers, is probably not unsurprising now, but at the time, all of these big events that you see these YouTubers and streamers go to get massive industry parties, multiple a night, open bar. It is a shit show. Like I have
Let's put it
been
lightly.
force fed. Now this is not an exaggeration. I have been force fed alcohol to such a degree that I fell through a glass table. And this was a CEO of a game company who just kept giving it to me. I fell through the table, or like I fell onto the table and it broke. And then he ordered me more shots.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And like I was even, I'm done. But it's like,
Yeah,
what am I
yeah.
going to say as this 22,
It's like you
23 year
felt
old
pressured.
streamer?
It's like I gotta
who's-
keep this guy happy or whatever.
Exactly.
Right?
And it's
No,
like, that's normal.
No, the way like Bree was saying you would be ostracized because I remember like Mixer had like this carousel thing.
Yeah,
and like
the front
it,
page.
it would juice your views. And like I was being like one of the biggest on Mixer at the time, like it was easy for me to just get put on the carousel because like whatever the algorithm was to throw you up there, I would meet all the requirements pretty quickly. And then like it was a rich get richer
Oh,
kind of thing.
absolutely.
So- Oh my
and
God.
so like I went into the partner Discord and I was like one of them that was actively like, guys, like I appreciate the boost. I'm
But this
doing
is
well
not
without
okay,
it.
like-
But like other people need this, I feel like, for the site to grow. Like there needs to
because
be.
it would just be the same 5-6 people on the carousel every day.
And
like during the day, yes.
And
but
I was
at
one of
night,
those people.
We used to actually, we kind
You
of
would figure out the algorithm.
So we figured out how to break the algorithm.
Oh my God.
Why, like, it was like we would do like we would stream and then set up a co-stream and then go to host someone.
I remember
and it would
that.
count as double the views.
Oh my
So then it would
God.
instantly force that person on the front page, whether they're a partner or not. So like
I didn't
anyone
have
that we're
any
like, bro,
friends, so I couldn't
let's
do that.
actually. Well, the problem was. At night, that's when those settings kicked on. During the day, they were locked.
Because
certain
they
people.
changed the algorithm
locked.
because all the top people, the people that they would just force onto the carousel every day, the same time, all the time, they didn't stream at night because why would you?
No,
if you
they
think
need
about
to.
it.
Well, they
if-
also
if
had
you could-
schedule.
Yeah, if
they
you,
also had
if you could
scheduled
fully
slots.
control your schedule and you are the top dog, you want to be on when? In the middle of the day when the most people are on the website. Not at night when the numbers dwindle because everybody's sleeping.
Yep. So no, we would definitely like we abused that system for a little while just to kind of like help some people and like shed spotlights on people.
And it
right?
escalated,
I mean,
right? And there was a lot of people who became kind of the golden children. I think we all had versions of that as we went through
an extent,
that were taken care of, and the egos exploded to a point
Oh,
where
God.
there was a massive amount of that happened. Editor, you're gonna have to censor that. My bad. Essay. There was a massive amount of essay that happened, and
That was
a massive amount
that was happening, and it wasn't just at one time.
No.
I mean, that was happening since before I even joined.
I mean,
Mixer.
for perspective, I was roofied at a Mixer industry party,
I remember that.
and that was before they opened it up to other people. That means I was roofied by another partner.
Dude, you were not. That was not a good night either for you. And I still remember like you hanging your head out the window on that.
It worked
too.
out because I met her. I
True,
guess, but
true, but bro, it was like.
Bree said yes.
And the worst part about it was you brought it to the attention of
Did you roofie him?
she wasn't there yet. She wasn't a partner yet.
You brought it to the
We met
attention
in
of
a
one of the
closet,
staff
okay?
members, and they're just like, "Oh yeah, we'll look into it."
Yeah,
and
no,
like, that was
nothing ever
it.
happened.
Like they didn't.
So it was like it was severe. Like and when I say severe, I mean like it came out and it was not like, oh, one girl is saying that so and so sexually assaulted her.
it was like, bro,
like, hey, 15
once the
different
dam would
girls have
open,
come
bro,
out.
oh my
it was,
God.
And it was like, and there were like wholeheartedly all kinds of things. Some like, and it was just every fucking other day.
There were streams.
There was another streamer, and it was all like very top people that people didn't expect, right?
Yeah.
And
there
and
were
it just kept
specific
getting worse.
streams that were dedicated to outing these people.
Yeah. I mean,
because
there
a lot
was
of people
That's
did
wild.
not feel
I never
comfortable.
participated
A lot of
in
people did
seeing
not
that.
feel comfortable having their name attached to the claim. And I mean, I was one of them.
Yeah.
Like we got into voice chats on Discord where we would all talk, and it was all like, for the most part, it was different victims of different people. But for
and
the
that's
most
crazy
part,
and Mixer wasn't that big.
No, it wasn't. Not at the time.
for the most part, though, you would have at least 4 or 5 women who were all affected by the same person.
Yeah.
And that was like the weirdest thing was that's how, like, there are 4 girls that I can think of in my head right now that we have this weird imaginary cord to each other because we were all affected by the same
That's
man.
insane to me.
And but the difference is that me and these women never were able to come out about this person because that was a whole different story. But a lot of these other guys from the website that were at the top of the food chain, all of a sudden you realize almost every single one of them
there was so many
were
it was
using their title to and not just their
to
title.
get the door open, and then they took advantage.
But
I will
also-
say, out of like the being like in the top 5 guys, I think I might be the only one that like because I was like engaged.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not that kind of person anyway.
Well, here's the thing: I never saw you really at any of the parties.
No, I never
because
went.
you never went.
Yeah, I was a grinder,
that's the
dude.
other thing, though,
I liked working.
is they use their status and they use their financial how rich they were from Mixer money.
BT Dubs, this is Mixer, so it's not like
they were making.
I mean,
Mixer money is like full-time Starbucks.
I mean,
for
some
employees.
people were making
some
a couple
people had
$100K,
a lot of donators that donated a lot of money to them, and they hit that spark. They hit that spark.
And you think when
as
you
soon
have
as it went up.
No, that spark
and
thing
you
was a
think
game
when you have a
changer.
bunch of part-time other streamers who are barely making $2,000 a month, barely able to pay their bills, I can see how you could easily be swayed.
Like
right?
that spark counter at the very top was probably like $2,000 a week.
Yeah.
Or something like
not
that.
including their donation subs.
Yeah.
And so, but anyway, so it was another thing of like, and it was always they did go after the higher up female streamers, of course, but their main target was the starting off female streamers because they were able to manipulate them.
All scummy,
and I am a victim of this, where they see you and they invite you into their community so that you can like kind of gain off of each other.
Yeah, and then they say
into
an exclusive party that you normally couldn't get into,
and then they say, hey, I know you really want to go to PAX or E3 or whatever. Let's raise a goal in my community to get you there, or I can pay for your ticket.
I don't know. Immediately for me, that's like a red flag in my head.
But you're not
think about your age at the time.
No, I know.
But you're not a 19-year-old girl.
No. I know that. That's what I'm saying. Where it's like so to me as a guy, I would say that seems so obvious that is a creep move.
Yeah.
Because like other guys would see that and it's like, bro, did you see what he did? That's just kind of gross.
No, dude, there was multiple times where like, and Eric was there, like there's been multiple times where like I would be at a party and I'd go up to people and I'm like, you need to stop. I'm like, you're fucking making them uncomfortable. Like there was one dude who like.
That was so few and far between.
Yeah, no, it was.
Because a lot of times the guys who are.
Of like 4 Mixer, bro, that was everywhere. That was so.
It was real bad.
You would notice that the guy friends of these guys just acted like they didn't see anything.
It's a boys club.
Or didn't know anything that was going on because they also were doing the same thing to other girls that were hanging around the group.
I mean,
where it was literally, I
unfortunately.
was in a house with top streamers staying at an event and they forced someone into my room saying that that I should hook up with them.
Oh.
Ew.
Yeah, and I kept saying no, and luckily I had another guy friend staying in that same room who said like, stop. Like they straight up were like, this is not okay. Like he is not sleeping in here. Like she does not know this guy enough to share a room with him. And it was just, but that was so normal.
Yeah.
It was just
a
like,
very,
you have a full house of
thing.
people sleeping in the same place, like an Airbnb for these events. And it's like, they're all going to hook up with each other somehow.
And that was like clear, like these top people had, like when we say like it was a small company at the time, like it was like in the sense of like, the top people, right? Very similarly now, where like one person, like for example, and I'm not trying to like say this, like our channel, we are in the top 1% of YouTubers. That is like an actual like figure we are.
Huh.
But the thing is like that 1% is still for YouTube's sake, tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of people.
And it's a very wide-scaled 1%.
On Mixer, that 1% maybe is 250,
right?
You know, it wasn't a lot.
And they would get these women to these events, and then also, I have a golden ticket to this very high priority party.
That's an open bar
with open bar.
Where you
let me just get you more and more and more and more drinks. Oh, you need a place to stay tonight? Well, I have a place you can stay, and it just that happened. Every single event to so many women that I knew.
Because people see what they see on camera, right? And the reason I say that, like, you got to think about this was a different time. This was years ago. This was, around the Me Too movement. This was before, like, the, now where all of these YouTubers are coming out that are getting hit for things. Yeah. Where for a long time, people, you see a YouTuber and you're like, oh, that's the funny guy on the TV he doesn't do anything wrong. He's not controversial. It's not. So you don't think about it, right?
You guys talking about this makes me realize how oblivious I was because, like, when I did this,
because it almost all happened at the party.
Every convention that we went to, which was like since I started at Mixer, right?
Yeah,
I went to every single convention, and I worked in the hospitality, so I was able to get hotel rooms, right?
Yeah. Right.
The first night I would stay. But this is before the convention, so you'd arrive on Thursday. First night I would be in my room alone, vibing. Living my best life. The second night, I'd always rescue at least 1 to 2 people.
Yep.
That's crazy.
And then the third night, I'd rescue another 2 to 3 people.
Yep.
No, there would be times where like the fucking the Airbnbs and hotels would be packed because we'd be like, dude, get out of that environment. Just come with us. Like, it's fine. Like we'll give you your own area.
I was oblivious in the sense of like I would have girls and like sometimes guys coming up to me trying to like I don't want to say necessarily like latch on, but they would just happen to be like where I was every single time, and it's like. I don't know. I guess that was like the upside of being like one of the bigger channels where it's like I didn't feel the need like I just wanted to see my friends. Like I wanted to actively like
Well, that
talk
was
to
us.
the people.
Like,
yeah,
it was like
know.
I would go for the business
I don't give
aspect
a shit about like
because
networking.
Mixer convinced us that going and getting blackout drunk at 4 parties in one night for 5 days straight was networking. Which to an extent, yes, you'd meet people, but like
it never bore fruit. If they wanted to talk to you, they'd find a way to talk to you. Other than that, they just want to party. Right?
I mean, you should have seen my inbox when I would go to an event. It's like these guys, these partnered streamers that I had never really talked to before, suddenly were all up in my messages, and I think 5 names in my head right now.
Because now you're in a physical location where they're
exactly.
right?
And I was like, there is such an well, at the time I was, but now looking back, I can think there's such an obvious agenda here. And I wish that I could go back and like tell myself that back then. Yeah. But I mean, before you,
you also want to assume like, hey, they want to be friends, and this could be a good opportunity to.
But also, I was still, living with my mom. Like I was still like living just at home with my parents. Like I didn't have really anything going for me. I was working at fucking Panera and streaming at night.
Dating a guy from Olive Garden.
And exactly, and so it was, and also, all the stuff I was going through at that time.
Never ending pasta bowl.
I was very easily impressionable at that time of my life. I was also just almost 20 years old.
I think you're still developing
because the vast majority of people
30, 40 years old.
That's crazy.
No, the vast majority of people were what, between 18 and like 25, I would say.
Yep.
That was the majority.
And then, but
like now I was on the older half of like I was,
I was smack dab.
I was in my 70s.
Bree was a little bit younger than the average person, and then I was right there in that just started drinking legally, like a year prior, things like that. Like I was 22, 23-ish around that time frame, I guess.
But
that
until
that,
I don't even remember what event it was that me and you or we all got together, when you guys picked me up from the Airbnb. But
E3.
Was it E3 or was it PAX?
No, it
was E3
West.
There was a time.
I had my car.
There was 2 times. There was a time during PAX West and a time during E3.
Okay. So, but it wasn't until PAX
It happened more than
West.
Like I said, dude, I've rescued so many people. I forget, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I have slept. It's so funny too, because
Eric is the guy that he'd have the hotel room and he would give up his bed and go sleep on the couch.
Because we have.
Because you don't want to be the weirdo that's like, let me
right?
save you from a shitty situation. You'll sleep in my bed.
Yeah, that's all I'm here.
No, of course not.
At my very first convention was PAX East, the one that I stayed with all those content creators that they shoved a guy in my room. I slept outside one night because I got to the Airbnb too late and they locked the door before I got there, and I had to sleep outside in the cold.
Insane.
Dude.
Because
anytime I went to the thing, I would actually stay at someone's
man.
house that I was friends with.
Yeah.
Like when I went to PAX West, I made a buddy who is a producer engineer at Xbox, and he was like, "Hey, we're cool now. Just sleep at my place." And I was. I don't know. It's the idea of all that sounds so goddamn, dude. The idea of being around that many people and trying to sleep sounds so fucking exhausting to me.
I would never do it again.
I think I had 6 or 7 people in my hotel.
Y'all talking about this is giving me anxiety.
The biggest one I ever had was when I was very heavily involved in the Kind of Funny community, right? With even Christian at the time, right? He's working down there now, but it was I was working at Best Buy. I was barely making content at the time. It was all shit. And I would just travel to go, I went to Kind of Funny Live. We would set up Kind of Funny community events. I helped with a lot of those at PlayStation Experience one year and at this. And we would set up the events and we would do that all. And the only way we could afford it is there was one time we crammed 11 people into a standard 2-bed hotel room, right? So you have entryway. There was 2 people sleeping on the floor in the entryway. Okay. There was one of us sleeping on the end of this bed, right? Yeah. There was one person sleeping on a chair in between the bed. No. 2 people in each bed.
I did that in high school.
One person on the left bed floor.
Never again.
I was under the table on the floor side,
never.
and then there was another person there. So it was crazy.
Too many fucking people.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. Don't do that. It's very, very dumb. And luckily, at least in the Kind of Funny situation at the time, we didn't have any weirdos in our room. Luckily we had a solid group, right?
Yeah.
But that wasn't the case in Mixer. And it got to the point where it kept getting released. And then it got to the point where it came out, right? And Mixer was getting bombarded by their constant top creators, full blown essay. Like it's not even clear cut. Like these people would retire and disappear from the internet because it was that bad.
Yeah.
A few of them never came back. Few of them did, and it's like
Under
nothing ever
different
happened.
names, yeah.
No, I remember that one was like, I guess I just wasn't made to be famous. And it's like, or you could not have essayed people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
And it was.
I don't think it's the fame that made you do
Yeah.
that, champ.
So it was
Like,
that, and that was a lot of issues. And Mixer had its own problems, but that happened. And then it came out.
Not even like
that
2 days later.
The woman in charge of Mixer, she was
Oh, the
like the
Millie
head
experience?
of Mixer. I forget the fuck her name, but I'm not going to say it because I don't, whatever. She straight up called the partners on the platform Mixer's slaves. This
Yeah,
is
and
not
their
hyperbole.
career is in our hands.
That literally.
That's when I left.
Yeah, she
That was-
referred
that
to
was the-
us
that was
as
the death knell.
slaves, and if I'm not mistaken, wasn't it like a week later that they sent out the tweet and shut it down?
No, it was a few months.
and never
It was still a
once
few months.
addressed.
There was something
anything.
that happened, and
No,
then
it was
a
like
week
6
later.
months because that was
Millie.
like, I was like,
What?
Millie came out with his experience on the first
Oh
day.
yeah,
Yeah.
oh no, that's what it was. She called the partners slaves in front of the person that we knew.
Yeah. Oh, so he was a Carolina kid, like me and him bonded because
Yeah.
like he was
He was
from
chill, dude.
he was-
I liked
no, he
him.
was around from the
Yeah.
same area I
Yeah. I
was,
still
like
have
where we
him
grew
on
up in North
Facebook.
Carolina.
And it's like, I'm just gonna say it. Calling your partner slaves in general, pretty fucked up. Throwing that at a black person is wild.
yeah.
Like it's already fucked up as it is, and then luckily, he spoke up about it.
Yep.
And that was I forgot that was how it came
No,
out.
he was
how
the
it came
he was
out.
the powder keg in the sense of like that started the
and it just
And that's
bomb,
when Microsoft was
bomb,
like, no,
bomb.
cut ties now.
And then
Like-
I think Microsoft just shut the
well,
shit down
because
because it was
the
too
whole
much.
reason why Microsoft bought Beam
Was the
in the
technology.
first place.
Yeah, it was
literally-
for their Xbox streaming.
It's for their Xbox streaming. So like
Yeah.
the whole reason they utilized that technology, and Mixer was Beam was just a bonus that they're like,
Yeah.
yeah, you know what? Maybe we can
Let's
make
get
this
into the
work.
streaming
Maybe
space.
we can compete.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
So they just yeeted that.
And like,
They're
since it just it blew up, it makes sense why Microsoft was like,
Yeah.
no,
Well, they-
cut that shit like
they-
the Zune,
no,
baby, cut it, get rid of it.
The Zune was so good.
It was.
I will die on that fucking hill.
You remember the OLED Zune, the touchscreen
Hell
one?
yeah, dude! I remember the brown brick.
Yeah.
I will
Yeah.
take that motherfucker all day.
We should
still.
let's get some.
This
Hell
was
yeah,
before my
let's do
time.
it.
I totally distracted him.
No, dude, I love the Zune.
It's okay. We
I,
can
I,
leave
Boomers.
I will
anyways.
fist fight people over the Zune. No, it's like one of those things that I would actively, and I guess this is being like the old head content nerd, where it's like I would go to the people in charge and I would be like, I beg of you. Like, and it's what Bree alluded to earlier, where it's like it took so long to get minor changes. We're talking like 6-8 months
The
to just get
easiest
basic
quality
shit.
of life changes.
It was so bad. And I would go to them and I would be like, we'd have like partner meetings and I would be like, because I was like, I ended up being buddies with my partner manager after a while, just because, he was an older guy. Like
I liked my partner
in his
manager.
era of like content, he was the older guy. So like, I think we kind of like, even though like we didn't really like each other's like content because like we were just two different people.
Yeah.
Like we were friends in the sense of like, we're like, yeah, like we know how it feels kind of thing. And I would be like, dude, why would anyone come here? And he was like, well, it's not Twitch. And I was like, that's the only thing it has going for it.
That's not.
And it's like
you need more.
We don't have the monetization. We don't have the stability. The saturation is now worse than Twitch because
Yep.
of Xbox streaming,
Yep.
where you have 900,000 people
I
streaming
think, if I'm
to
not
zero.
mistaken, wasn't
View
it,
counts
wasn't
were
it
inaccurate.
something along the lines of for every viewer there was like 5 streamers or
No,
something?
it was
that?
like 15 straight. It was bad.
I remember it took like 6 months for them to up the emote size.
No,
Yeah.
we were asking for that but when it was still Beam.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
what in the world?
No.
Well, this is from when I became a partner. So I didn't
Yeah.
know. I was a partner long after
No,
they all
no,
had
no.
became
Missed out on all
partners.
the early.
No, you-
like the
Yeah.
best part was, remember that drama Discord you're talking about? Like there were people that
No,
were in the
I
higher
was-
ups that were actually used to be part of that whole Discord.
I never was
insane.
in
and they
that.
just left.
No, I never was in the first
like
Discord. I was in
the
second
creators like
Discord.
of Beam were like in that Discord. And they would vie with people, and then it just kind of
Yeah.
like became a cesspool. And they're like, "No, we're out."
So
I can't do this anymore.
I had another second partner channel that was like a collective of people, and we like ran a 24-hour channel in the regard of like we specifically made content for that channel. Like our goal was to be like the new G4, where it's like game reviews, podcasts, and things like that. And of course, like we caught shit from people. That's like, oh, this is just a 24-hour like Spark Farm channel, and it's like, no, dude, like we take time out of like my own channel is suffering because I'm now like what you originally did for this is what I did for that.
Yeah.
And it's like one of those things like you guys don't realize like we had like production meetings with Mixer themselves.
No, you tried to make your own version of Sort of Stupid before we made it.
Yeah. And
unfortunately,
it's so
you just,
funny.
you
Like
know.
that's why like when you guys invited me on board, I was like, fuck yes. Like
You're
somebody,
like, finally,
yeah.
somebody, people are driven.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And like, dude, like Mixer was like, oh, we love this idea. Like, you know, this, that. And it's like we were even in talks with them to have like a Mixer sponsored like show where we'd bring on like streamers and talk to them about Mixer and stuff like that. And like, dude, people started throwing us under the bus. Like even a lot of the people who, funnily enough, were part of those allegations.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, because they were such community leaders.
Yep.
And like, you know, we would go to Mixer and it's like, hey, you want to tell them to at least tone it the fuck down because we're catching a lot of garbage.
No, because it was
them.
No, I mean it
And they
was
just be like-
literally if you did not follow the playbook,
Yeah.
right? Family friendly stream.
Yeah.
Zero cursing. Period. End of story. No mention of drugs. No mention of alcohol. And you know you fucking stream Fortnite. And that's it.
Fortnite, that's it.
And if you were outside of that
Let's
bubble, you're a
plays.
variety
And you
streamer.
didn't
You are lesser
promote
than us.
Or
AFK
Minecraft.
streams.
Minecraft. You
Yeah.
gotta stream Minecraft too. If you didn't stream Minecraft as well.
Yeah.
So it's either
Minecraft,
Fortnite or
Minecraft fell off towards the end. I
Yeah,
feel like.
but well, I mean, it started as only a Minecraft
Yeah.
streaming
Yeah.
platform, and then like we got there, and like, dude, I remember
Took
when I was
over.
like streaming other stuff, and everybody's like, "Why aren't you playing Minecraft?" And it's like, we don't do that here,
No,
son.
I'm gonna say peak Mixer era. Peak Mixer era was the height of
Dead by Daylight.
of
Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th, and I'm not just saying that
Nope.
because I had a lot of fun doing
Oh
it.
my god, it was so fun, dude.
That was before I knew you.
No, that was like the Beam to Mixer era,
Yeah.
like when
Yeah,
it
it
switched
was.
over.
It was the
like,
transition.
Like Friday the 13th was out, Cuphead came out, like
Yeah.
that did really well. And like people were actively finding me through like clips on like the Cuphead like game thing.
No,
That was cool.
no, literally, like they were making a lot of really smart decisions, and then they bought Ninja, and then I don't know. I don't know
it started
what
going downhill
happened.
before then.
No, I know,
It
but like
did,
I feel like
yeah.
that was when it accelerated.
Yeah.
that was when it was just bad decision.
Their
after
outside
bad
interest started
decision
winning
after
too
Well,
bad
hard.
decision.
what it was that was outside interest going. We need a bigger
Yep.
face in the platform.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what that was. I mean, and unfortunately at that point, once you get bought by like a bigger company like Microsoft, you're no longer steering the wheel. Right.
No. Yeah, it's
the
over.
wheel is being
Well, no, I
steered
mean-
by like 7 people who are going. Well, is this the best for shareholders?
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, and at the time too, I was like a top 10, top 20 creator on the platform, and I was overlooked for every single opportunity. And I'd go to my partner manager, I'd be like, dude, like my feelings are kind of starting to get hurt because I'm overlooked for literally everything. Like, what do I have to do to get noticed? And he was like, oh, well, you know, they like to spread it around. And it's like, that's weird because this one person like gets it every single time. And I don't even think they're in like the top 100.
No, the best part is when they would do that, and then you'd get the. Well, you know, it's a numbers thing. We can't reveal what the numbers
Yeah.
are, but like your
Yeah. That was always their
your
response.
viewership is not high enough to get that. And it's like, okay, well, that person who's related to somebody who works at the company is
Oh,
on
God.
there every day,
Yup.
and they have half the viewership I
What's
do. And they're
funny
like,
is,
I don't know.
What's funny is then they like towards the end, they put us all in a hierarchy of partners.
Yeah,
that was funny. I remember that.
You
I,
had-
I brought that up during a partner town hall.
forgot
too.
about that.
They completely were like, "Oh, yeah, we're not."
Dude, my partner manager got some of like the highest performing people,
Yeah.
and I was like one of 2 smaller creators that she kept around. And I was like, oh thank God.
Me and you might have been in the same thing then, because I was in like the 1A group.
Yeah, no,
And then-
it was very much like like they were not playing. I'll never forget because when they used me as an example,
'Cause it was weird.
because I was very close with my
I
partner
don't even
manager.
really like everybody here.
Like at the time, my partner manager, like he was, because I was like I was not I'm not doing the trends. I'm doing whatever I want, and it worked. Like I did well for myself, and like he made sure like that.
Yeah.
Just because I wasn't following the trends, like I would still be taken care of. And I remember they took him away, replaced him with a new partner manager, and within a
Everything.
week was when I was yeeted off. Like
Literally.
they definitely they took him away on purpose for sure.
They switched all of my other people in my group because you had like group chats with
Yeah.
these people in the Discord where before I feel like we all meshed pretty well because your partner manager kind of not necessarily like you related to them very well, but I don't know. I feel like she just got us pretty well, and like the whole group would just got along really well in the group chat. And then once all like the higher performing people got moved in, I was like, God, I can't say a goddamn thing in here.
Dude, I would love to like if one of our if one of the Billies out there was one of our old partner managers, like you could tell us on the other side of the shit you used to deal with. I would love
they are probably still bound by a Microsoft NDA.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, there's
no, because it was like one of those things to where it's like.
Oh yeah, then they tried to have us sign the NDA for the buyout. Oh my God!
I think that was Facebook.
I completely forgot about that.
Well, it wasn't even a buyout.
Yeah,
it was like you guys can like stream on Facebook, transfer over if you want. I was like, who wants to go over to Facebook Gaming, which doesn't even exist anymore.
Like, dude, it was like one of those things that was funny.
It's like let's just pass you off to the other least performing platform.
When they put us in that hierarchy of partners, like all of us that were like. I hate saying the idea of top dogs, but those of us that were, it was like none of us like communicated with each other. Like we streamed on our own. We had our own communities. We didn't like it went from like she said, like being like this kind of like communal, like, hey, we're all kind of like buddy in here to like,
because it became a competition.
This guy streams this guy streams at 6 a.m. I stream at 3 p.m. This guy streams at midnight. Like none of us even like rarely go in each other's channels, much less like hang out or anything like that. So like dude, like our partner chat was just silent.
Yep.
Because it was, like it's like you said, it also became like, well, the idea of like, you know, I can't let this person take my spot because it's, you know, that's my time slot. And it's also one of those like, speaking up. I thought I was doing the good thing of telling everybody like, hey, they should pass the carousel around to more people. Apparently, they took that as me saying, I never want to be on there ever again.
Oh, yeah. That's how they did it.
Don't put me on there.
Oh, you say something? Well, that's okay. We'll just silence you.
One last thing, because I totally forgot about this until now, and then we'll do comments and wrap up. So I will never forget this. I got in trouble and yelled at by, like, threatened by the upper management at one point. Because there was a guy streaming, right?
Oh, yeah.
Who was a actual legitimate, we found the police documents, a registered sex offender. Yes, Bree said he was a registered
one of
sex
my
offender.
Moderators went through and did a full investigative report
we made sure
on a streamer.
He was a legitimate, actual sex offender who got partnered. We notified Mixer. They didn't do fucking anything. And not only was he a actual legitimate registered sex offender, he was actively searching, and I shit you not, specifically for 16-year-old moderators.
Wasn't he like playing
This is not an exaggeration.
Oh, that was a different person.
Was it? Well, he was like this. This person was specifically looking for underage mods. So I said, fuck it. And I was just like, nah, I don't give a fuck. And I was live. I called him out. And I don't remember what, I think I actually even went into his chat on my alt account.
You're mixing two things up.
Was there two
You're
of them?
mixing two people up.
And, the point is that there was one.
There was two.
No, but no, so I called them out live. I got my alt account permabanned because I went into his chat and called him a pedophile.
The second guy was involved in my community. He was my moderator at one point in time, way back when. And he was one of the people that like swindled me into their community. And then that's when one of my other moderators did like a full investigative report because he got like a little tidbit of information at one point because he wasn't allowed to go to any conventions. He wasn't allowed to have social media. He wasn't allowed to leave the state.
It was that severe.
Jesus.
Yeah. He wasn't allowed to leave the state. And that's when he started wondering, why is he not allowed to do all of these things?
But
and he was grossly attached to me. Yeah. Where like if I talked to anybody else or streamed with anybody else or played games with anybody else, he just got so mad. And it was to the point where like I didn't want to piss him off because I was kind of scared that I was going to get attacked. No, and that's when I told him, oh no, I got sent the documents and sent them to him. And he was like, well, if you're not going to put him on blast, I'm going to.
I was like, I got this.
He did while he was streaming.
No, because I straight up was like, what? Because at this point, I was one of the top streamers. I was like, what are they going to do?
And he said his name. He said his username. And so his chat, he was live at the time. And I didn't know this. And then he went live on a second account. And his stream started going over to him that he ended up hosting him and had his whole stream come at him and was telling him all these things. Like, it was like basically cursing him out. Yeah. And then it was like, oh, whoa, like it just exploded into this thing. And Mixer was like,
I got it. It was one of those things where like
he got in more trouble
because my
than
thing
the
was
other
like,
guy did.
you are putting kids in danger.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like this is not okay.
Because like our main viewership came from the Xbox platform.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because like, dude,
Why?
Yeah, it was just
Ugh.
like, I'm like, this is not all right. Like, you guys know, like, and here's the documents. Like, you guys actively partnered a registered sex offender, and you are allowing him
You're giving him a
to
platform.
stream
You are
to
giving
an
him a
audience of
platform.
children.
Yep.
It's like he is recruiting children to be his moderators intentionally. And it's like, it was this whole thing. But no, I got shit. I remember I got reached out to like one of the back end people who does the stuff, and they were like, I know this was you. Because they got my alt account. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. He was like, I'm not going to say anything. You cannot do this again. And I was like, what? And at that point, I was like,
Oh,
what?
it was
calling
like
a
one of your
pedophile? I
Sparks
was like,
accounts, and then
yeah.
it got banned.
yeah, I was like, what? Calling a pedophile? Like, you guys are
Yeah.
really going to give me
No,
shit?
it's- yeah.
I'm like,
And it
he
had,
is
like, so many
publicly.
sparks
I'm like,
on
this
it.
is public knowledge. Because that was my attitude about it. I was like, this
Yeah.
is public knowledge. He's a registered sex offender, and it is public knowledge. And you're telling me I can't call him out on it? Are you fucking kidding me?
God, so many.
I think it was your bot for your.
It was
for
my
your
bot. Yeah, my
stream.
bot. I had to make a new
So
bot.
You had to make a new bot.
Yeah, I had to make a new
everything.
bot. Yeah.
No, that's
it was fun.
That's like one the final like I made the right decision leaving the platform was I remember I was talking to my new partner manager because they fired the good one, and she was like I had like my other like collective partner channel or whatever, and I told her I was like I'm going to start streaming on Twitch for my solo stuff. Because, like, I just want to, like, move on from here solo-wise. Because, like, dude, like, my internet cannot run y'all software. Y'all software is so broke, my internet does not work with it. And so it was one of those that she came back, and she was like, oh, that's fine. Like, is this channel intact? I was like, yeah, the main channel, the collective channel is Mixer only. And she was like, well, okay, we're going to unpartner your solo channel. And I was like,
What?
okay, but I guess that's fine. Sure. And so I made a tweet where I said lots of fantastic memories at Mixer. Thank you guys so much for all the it was a super nice tweet. Like I thought I was being like professional and kind and like
No, Sean did. I burned the bitch down when I went out the door.
burn the bitch down.
I didn't give a fuck.
No,
I was like, I'm done.
I was and I said, hey, thank you. Like, but they are taking my partner button. So if you want to subscribe to me on Twitch. And dude, the partner head underneath, she's like, this isn't true. I still see your button. And I was like, I can take this to DMs and give you the information if you want. And so me and her had this like conversation in DMs where I literally sent her the email chain from my partner manager saying I was losing my button. I was going to be unpartnered. And dude,
That's what happened with me.
dude, immediately after that conversation, she unfollows me on Twitter.
Yep.
So
crazy.
and then my partner manager messages me on Twitter now, and she was like, "I don't appreciate you going over my head to my boss on the weekend." And I said, "What, for saying what you said to me?"
Yeah.
And she came back with nothing.
Yeah. No, that was my thing. Is
Yeah.
they emailed me and that
It's
was when they took the
I just
button.
told them I was like, y'all need to get your ducks in a row.
Yeah.
Like you're mad at me for shit y'all did.
No, that was exactly what happened to me. Because it was the same thing. I got an email. They went into the partner Discord after they removed me and were like, this never happened. And of course, because I had been a fucking partner since the fucking inception of the goddamn Mixer at that point, people were sending me screenshots from the partner Discord, which was a violation of their NDA, but whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, like anybody ever follow that.
So I just said, fuck it. And I went on Twitter and I put the email out. And I
There
was like,
was
really?
no-
I was like, really? It's
There
right
was-
here.
There was no course of action for breaking.
No,
your
there
NDA.
was not.
It's like
No,
the threat was
the
over.
NDAs got broken all
Dude,
the time.
as soon as like the indie like information was out, like it was immediately on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it got leaked instantly.
But
yeah,
to
it
wrap
was
this
fun.
No,
with a bow.
yeah.
No, I remember it was extremely fast from the Me Too movement to closing down because I was
it wrapped
I
up
was
real
it was
fast.
2 a.m. I was in this voice chat with all of these women when they posted the tweet. So suddenly it went from all this Me Too stuff to suddenly, what the fuck?
I guarantee
That's what it was. The slavery stuff happened before all
Yeah,
the Me
yeah.
Too stuff
I
happened.
remember
mixed the
literally,
time frame up.
I was so exhausted from being on the phone all day with them.
Yeah.
And then I just remember the utter like defeat Like all of us, like all of the women were just like defeated.
Well, because
not only did they not, when I saw the tweet, I thought they meant like, oh, they're addressing everything. And instead it was, oh, we're shutting down.
Dude, they would literally rather shut down the platform
and they
than hold
did not,
people
they didn't
accountable.
send us an email.
Which is crazy to think about.
Yeah.
They didn't send us an email. They didn't have a meeting. They didn't post it in the Discord. They straight up tweeted it to the public that they were shutting down in 30 days. And I remember all of us collectively were just like, we lost.
Bro, what?
Like we lost all of what we did over the last couple of days, outing all these people out, bringing attention to it from
Because
Mixer.
they were just going to be able to move to Twitch like
all
nothing
of that.
Yeah, with a new name.
Exactly. It all was for nothing. Nobody got any justice. There was nothing was ever done. 80% of those people that got outed as being assailants of these women just went back to business like nothing happened.
Yeah.
It was the most collectively.
I only know of one or two where it
saddening.
legitimately ruined their career.
It was just so sad. Like, it was just like, what do you even do? It was just like, we all talked about it for like an hour and then we all just had to leave the call.
Yeah.
Because it was like, there's not even any point in adding to this anymore.
What do you do?
Nothing's going to get done. Just like it is with every single situation that's like this. They're just going to go on like nothing happened. And it was just, dude, that time was just so just WTF. Because I don't remember exactly what year that was, but this was either during COVID. Was it during COVID?
No, it was 2020. It was literally the start.
It was the start of
so
COVID.
it was like wrap that up with, oh, everyone's unemployed
It was
and
June
stuck at
2020.
home. And stuck at home.
Yeah.
What do you do? Like suddenly
Go to
not
Facebook Gaming.
Yeah, right.
not only are they unemployed, but they can't even get a job. Suddenly everyone just had to go on like unemployment that was being given out by like the crisis relief fund.
Yeah, because it was right around COVID time.
And I was just, I think I was lost for like a whole year. Where it was like, you would go to Twitch and you would just be like, this
No, I
isn't-
mean, we tried to get you to do content with us for a while in the beginning, and you were just like, no, I'm not.
I mean, why would I?
Yeah.
You
No,
know,
I mean,
I
you're
feel
right.
like
Our
I had like
entire careers
PTSD.
were ripped away
And
last
also
minute,
it was just like, I went and worked at a restaurant for a year because I was just like, I literally want nothing to do with the internet space. I was like, what positive outcome did I have out of any of that besides like meeting him?
You met
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Now,
You met.
well, now,
Whoa.
now-
Well, that was a positive outcome like the entire time. Okay. I wasn't a terrible like
In
there.
2024,
All right? Jeez, I just
in 2024,
Hey, you got shit on.
I can say that in 2024. But back then, I mean, I was like so deep in the dark of just like what am I going to do with my life?
Yeah.
Well,
that I
me and
just-
him just kept
Well,
doing
no, but that's
podcast.
funny
It's
enough.
great.
That's why we
But you guys
started
were
this
doing-
channel.
but you
Literally,
guys
that's why
were-
we kept doing
we
the
started it
podcast.
just to stay in
But
contact.
you guys
with one
made a
another.
channel about anime.
True. We did.
Well,
yeah, that is a good
Which
point.
we made
it
a
was
channel
like-
that was literally us just going to vent. That's
Yeah,
all
about
it literally
anime.
like the whole
About
thing was
anime.
Well, okay, so it was about anime, but the initial inception idea of the idea was we don't want to lose contact with each other. Let's just keep doing this and just see what happens.
But I was
And we
also in the
literally did it,
mindset.
like once a week.
I was also in the mindset of I don't want to talk to anybody.
Yeah, I don't want to do
that's
content.
fair.
I
That's
don't.
fair.
I don't
Yeah.
want to converse with any of these people anymore. I feel like
No, you
it's
had
like,
zero desire to be involved in content at all.
I feel
for
like it's like
a year and a half,
you,
2 years.
like
almost.
if you witness like a traumatic event with a group of people, right? Like there's a death with someone you all knew, right? Where it's like, yeah, seeing these people is nice, but at the same time, seeing all these people just reminds you of that bad event. Like similar to like doctors and nurses, where it's like, yeah, you can go see these patients' family again, but at the same time, you don't want to. Because you don't want to check in because then at the same time, it might be painful for them to bring them back to that. So I think at the same time, I was like, I just want to forget this whole thing ever happened and just
move on.
focus on real life friendships, I guess you would say, and just get a job in a restaurant, which I'll never do again. But it was just like, I just wanted to distance myself from, gaming as a whole. I think I completely dropped gaming for like at least a whole year. I was so traumatized by that entire thing that I just,
well, because you got to think.
it took me years
and
to even,
Sean,
it took him at least 8 months of asking me like, hey, do you want to do something with the company? And
Yeah,
me
it
being
was
like,
longer. No, it was longer than that.
and
It
me
was
being
a
like,
while.
probably since before it even started.
Yeah.
Where he was like, do you want to do this thing with me? And I'd be like, no.
Yeah.
I
Well,
literally
we tried to get her on
don't-
podcasts, I think.
Well,
at
there
one
was
point,
no, there was a
yeah.
couple things because the way that I see it is right. Like me and Sean left prior to Mixer shutting down.
Yeah,
So
well before.
we had already moved a chunk of our community over, accepted the people that didn't follow, and just kind of ran with it, right? And like it was COVID. It was there's a reason me and him switched over and started focusing on YouTube because the streaming just wasn't. It couldn't pay the bills anymore. Like it just wasn't reasonable, especially during COVID when nobody wanted to spend money. Eric never did it full time. He always did it part time. So like it sucked, but it was like you still had your job. Nothing changed that much. You were still streaming for fun on Twitch just like you did prior.
I
it was always fun.
I mean, that's all it ever was for me. Was just a fun thing that I just enjoy. I enjoy making people happy.
I did it full time.
She did it full time. She tried Twitch for a little while, and I think it was like when it just because it wasn't sustainable for me either. When it was no longer sustainable, it was like, well, what about YouTube? And you're like, I'm not doing this. You're like, I'm not going through this again. I'm not rebuilding from scratch.
Yeah.
I'm not like it's just I'm not.
Well, also it was something I didn't care to.
Yeah.
If the passion wasn't there,
What's the
why
point?
would I
Yeah.
do it?
Yeah.
And it was also one of those things I'm forcing myself to do something that literally I'm also trying to block out of my mind at the same time.
Yeah.
Where it's like staying at a job that you absolutely hate, but you feel like you have to because that's your only option. That's literally what I felt like it was.
Yeah. And what's the point of doing that, especially in a streaming where the income is so inconsistent?
Yeah.
Like,
And
you
also
can't
it has
even rely
entirely
on
to
it.
do with your personality.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
You
you're in a
know,
bad
if you
mood that
don't
day, it's
love
over.
what you're doing, it's going to show. And in the restaurant business, obviously I didn't like what I was doing, but it didn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
Like,
You're still accomplishing
Yeah.
your
As
goals.
long as they got their food, who
yeah,
cares?
exactly.
Yeah.
Like that, I didn't need to impress someone to depend my pay
Yeah.
for the month. Like I just did what the boss man told me to do, you know?
No, I mean that's why it's like a lot of times people would come to me for stream advice, and I'd be like consistency. They'd be like in schedule, and I'd be like also in attitude.
Yeah.
Like if you show up and like you're like happy go lucky, like hey, and you're making everybody feel good one day, and then the next day you're just like Eeyore from fucking Winnie
Yeah.
the Pooh.
It
People aren't going to
shows.
stick around. They don't want to be your therapist. They want you to be theirs.
Exactly.
Yep.
And that's where, I mean, obviously over time, like I got back into it because I'm here. But man, I feel like that I should have seen a therapist at that time. Like I think I would have gotten
probably
much
would've
back
helped.
into content sooner, but I think I was just trying to completely block out content as a whole because, and I still think of those like women all the time too, because a lot of them never went back to content. And some of them did, but it's like I know that they feel
Was
the
it
same
ever
way.
the same for them?
Where it's like you don't want
definitely
to you don't want to collaborate.
right.
Why would
Like
you?
my mom asked me the other day, like, oh, are you guys ever like, what if you bring someone on to the podcast or something? And I was like, I haven't even thought of it. Like if they do, cool. But like at the same time, like you guys are the only people I like talk to every day. And like I'm so chill with that. And like sometimes I'll play games with old friends, but like I never do it on a regular basis. And it's like back then I would collaborate with anybody and everybody. And now I'm like so like what's the word? Like careful. I feel like just because
No, I think we all are. I mean,
Yeah.
like
I mean, I had
we've
the
collabed
same-
with people in the past, but like no, we're definitely wary of it too.
like
because
there's
of
a
that,
there's a
unfortunately.
girlfriend I had that we thought we were each other's best friends in the whole wide world, you know, and I helped her set up her whole stream and I thought we were so cool and I had a baby and never heard from her again.
Yeah.
She was like, oh,
And not only of that,
Baby.
was she was boasting on Twitter about how she met like a new girlfriend and how they were like the best friend they've ever had and did all these
And
things
you were
for them
like,
that
"Just
a
wait."
friend has never done for them. And I was like,
Well, no, it was the baby, but it was you stopped streaming.
Yeah,
And once
yeah.
you stopped
Yeah.
streaming, you no longer were an asset. to them.
you're nowhere.
and I feel like that's where the reality set in.
It's
Do I need to tell
unfortunate.
my DreamHack story at all? Like when I went to DreamHack and just lost. That was
Let's save it.
Yeah.
Let's save an
I'm
episode
sorry.
where we just
I
do
talked a lot.
unhinged
because bro.
like insane convention
We do need, like,
stories.
an
'Cause
unhinged
honestly,
podcast
we,
of
we could fill
the ways
we
we've been
could
done
fill
dirty.
10 podcasts.
That was wild.
with
That
insane
was,
convention
I've
stories.
never
Let's be
felt so
honest.
old, but like, you know, it was a good time. It was a good time.
But
feel
yeah,
you.
that was
On a side note, I gotta
That was our
give a
trauma
shout
dump
out
for the
to
day.
my
Yeah.
girl Lucy here. She's a 9-year-old, 84-pound gentle giant.
oh my god, I thought
Put,
you were
I'll put some. No,
it's like whoa. It's like
That's a big boy.
that's a good girl right there.
That's the kind of dog
big
I'm
girl.
like,
Dude, look at
I'd
her.
get you that chest, but like, pop, 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 like I'm smacking the side of a fucking boat.
we're talking about a dog.
yeah, don't worry.
just-
No,
the
that-
pictures will be
editor-
up.
yeah, the
Yeah,
editor
we'll
will
edit
include
the
the pictures.
That's how that's what I do on my days. What's up, girl? Black, black, black.
So let's go
And
through
if
a
a
couple
ribcage don't make the
comments.
hollow sound, I leave.
I'll do a couple comments.
Make sure you go
know.
adopt.
You found
so
some
yeah,
good
check your
ones in
local
there.
shelters.
There's a few. Y'all have been slacking. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
In my family, the men are so hard to shop for Christmas or their birthdays. It's actually insane. Like my dad is more picky with clothes than my mom, so they don't get each other presents anymore.
No, my dad's picky.
Instead, they just go to an expensive fancy restaurant for Christmas or birthdays.
Understandable. No.
I love their discussions
My
about
dad's
random
so
stuff.
hard to shop for.
Thank you for liking our discussions about random stuff.
Thank you.
That's cool.
What I'm going to do now, so I grabbed those. I'm going to run over to our main channel where we have way more comments, and I'm going to see if I can find some other stuff.
Good luck.
Probably not, but we'll see.
A lot of people agreed with me on my Minion take. So just
I
want
also
to put that
saw
out
a lot of
there.
people that didn't like your mini
I
tape.
saw a lot of
Yeah.
people that did. And that means more to me.
That's fair.
The people that
Yeah,
disagree
the people
with me,
that agree with me means more than the people that don't.
the people that disagree with me, I think you're just
What a
plain
fucking
wrong.
echo
And the people that
chamber.
agree with me, I highly respect your opinion.
Yeah, I'm not.
You're just wrong. That's it. I don't care. You're
No,
just wrong.
It's like
I'm
you
not
can
really
have your
seeing-
opinion, but it's wrong. You
Not
know?
really seeing too many.
Like mid conversation.
We haven't had like a lot of like crazy comments.
No, we
lately. It's
had
actually
a
kinda
string
chill.
when we started doing it, and
Yeah.
then like it's almost
It's like
you,
chilled out.
That's the question: is because we said we were going to read comments. Did y'all just get nervous?
Yeah.
Did
Yeah, I
comments
know,
not
right? They're
leave
like,
us?
never
Damn,
mind.
if I say something stupid, they're gonna put me on blast.
Did you check the filtered comments?
No, I don't know if I
No,
want to go through
that-
this.
Oh, that's
there's-
the thing. I don't
wouldn't.
stray into
There's nothing there of
those.
quality.
Billy,
I can
thanks
only
for
assume
watching.
what those look like.
Thanks for hanging out. Remember, you can get the podcast 1 week early over at
It's worth it.
patreon.com/sortastupid. Go check it out. It helps the channel a lot.
It's only
Helps
like
keeps the
$5,
podcast going.
right?
Give us 5 stars
Is that
on
$5?
Spotify.
Yeah, please check it out on Spotify. Rate it 5 stars if you
Comment
can.
on Spotify.
Yeah, comment
Yeah.
on Spotify. You can do that too. I don't care where you watch. YouTube, Spotify, doesn't matter.
up to
Just
you,
please
baby.
check it out. And please go check out our webcomic, Billy Ends the World. It is available now on Webtoon. The link will be down below. Or you can just search for Billy Ends the World on Webtoon.
Did you find
Someone
one?
asked are me and Bree siblings, and we replied yes.
I replied
That's
to
all.
it.
No, we had another comment that said like Bree and the boys are so sibling coded.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah.
Like, yeah, kinda.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. I like it. I like it. It had me good. A very good time.
Yeah.
Anybody want to say anything before we
Very nice. Be the
piss off
joy.
and leave?
Appreciate you, Billy.
Bye, Billy.
Bye.
Go Ducks.
I gotta pee so bad.
Go pee.
We didn't have
Go
Sport of
Tar
Stupid
Heels.
this week,
No, we
but
didn't.
Oregon did have a bye week,
Hey,
so it
Panthers
doesn't really
almost
matter.
fine. Sport of Stupid. Panthers almost beat the Chiefs.
No, you guys need a Sport of
guys miss
Stupid.
Sport of
Even
Stupid.
even if it is a 20-minute show you guys do weekly, you guys need that because every time we do Sport of Stupid, it takes like 20, 25 minutes.
Yeah. Well, it's getting to a pretty crazy time of it too, so
Yeah.
Let us know if you want them to do that.
I
Bye.
mean, NFL playoffs coming up, college football playoffs coming up, NBA
also
season started.
in the Despicable Me video there was like 8 comments of Go Ducks, so